Iraqi President Saddam Hussein may never. They will not be caught if they... I wouldn't have liked this Iraqi dish. 42 weeks, the U.S. to see, but former Iraqi President Saddam Hussein had no news. Not just the U.S. military, it was working day and night, but U.S. Special Forces, CIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, National. The security agency and the FBI also had a big role. Thousands of these people. Only one person was looking for Saddam Hussein America. What was the threat? And eventually it was, and then he took 6 steps from the earth. How to get started in America. After 9 alien attacks on Al-Qaeda in New York, they attacked Washington, D.C. The whole world has seen the anger of the United States. U.S. President George W. Bush. Whoever supports terrorism. It will be targeted by Saddam Hussein, who is currently in Iraq. The doctor was not directly involved in the 9 aliens. The U.S. thought Saddam Hussein was a different terrorist. Indirectly supported groups? This is enough for a direct attack on Iraq. It wasn't the case in Iraq. Saddam Hussein wants to end the hold. For the past 24 years in various roles, it was the government of Saddam Hussein in Iraq. 2. There's no U.S. to attack. The reason why the U.S. made this claim: Saddam Hussein begins weapons of mass in Iraq. Distribution is hidden, i.e., nuclear weapons make the same claim. March 2003 in America. The United States invaded Iraq. Joined by UK, Australia, and Polish military. Only 3 fighters. The Iraqi capital arrived in Baghdad within weeks. President Saddam Hussein on the first day of the invasion of Iraq. When the U.S. military arrived in Baghdad, they... U.S. tanks and troops occupy Baghdad. 24 years of Saddam Hussein. The throne was turned over to the famous Firdaus Square by Saddam Hussein, and then the lights fell on him, and the lights fell on him. Then the goodness. It was a good thing, but perhaps it was a good thing. It wasn't easy for them and their families. Find top government officials. The U.S. military's top priority. One of the U.S. soldiers? Then they were given the power and authority. 51 officials are seen anywhere. Catch them alive or dead. Total 50 in their list of most wanted when presented. Their faces were to remind everyone. And then they made a special note. The Day of Judgment and the Day of Judgment. The pictures of the officers were printed because they played. The cards also have a total of 52 leaves and moss. 52 names were also on the list of wanted soldiers. When they play the game, they play the game. The face of the targets repeatedly. I remember seeing him for months. U.S. military searches Iraq. And then they came to the house of their relatives. Shops, colleges, mosques. Nothing was left, they only knew it was true. So in Iraq, but last months. It's still going on, but Saddam Hussein, neither of their 2 sons were able to leave. Then the U.S. Whoever is right or wrong, no one will know about his children. $50 million will be rewarded. $15 million on their sons and $25 million. Saddam Hussein's reward was placed on many people in Iraq. Saddam himself. They were against it, and therefore the United States was convinced. No money, but no money. There is no information. And that's what happened to a man. He went to the military base and said, Saddam Hussein, my 2 sons are in my house? No one believed before, but when the U.S. military surrounded the house, he knew who they were and who they were. They didn't want to go out because they did. They were full of weapons, so there were several attacks. After the home was hit by missile soldiers when inside the home. Then they went away and whose dead bodies were found? Saddam Hussein's residence. The last hope was to find out, but the US military did not recognize his loss on the other side. Many of his companions are alive. Also done, there was no information from anywhere. 4 months have passed and there is talk. Reached the US. The military now thought that Saddam Hussein might be someone. The US military thought it was dead. The efforts are also reduced. Neither military operations nor intelligence. The report indicated Saddam Hussein was alive. In the meantime, an audio tape. The whole plot changed. It was the audio tape Saddam Hussein, in which they are. The deaths of his 2 sons were announced. The audio tape meant Saddam Hussein was still alive. America has won, and again, try to find the right one. And the $25 million on his head. The prize was increased to $30 million. And with giving U.S. citizenship to information giver. The promise was made. So much money for everyone. Someone tried their luck, and the Iraqi people turned straight, in the hope that if... And then he was caught, and he was rewarded. It made the U.S. work harder. Almost all of the people were caught in the crowd. And there were only a few children. I also included Saddam Hussein during the defense intelligence. A sergeant from the agency, Eric Maddox, carted the leaves. I started thinking in a different direction. And he saw the people who were destroyed. I was put on the top of the Mosul Saddam Hussein government. The officials were their power. Saddam Hussein was not the greatest of them. Saddam Hussein, if all, someone who needs more is his bodyguards. The guards were divided into 3 categories. Then the others came before him. Go to clear. Wherever they went, they were the 3rd. These men were always with Saddam Hussein. All right now, Saddam Hussein. They may need more than Eric Maddox. Find the guards. Then he decided to go to his hometown. There he was a guardian of Saddam Hussein, Abraham's son Abraham. The bodyguard was also somewhere. Then he met a lot of Saddam Hussein. From the old servants were something special. No, but he knew that Saddam Hussein had a dish called Muscovy. I love that in Iraq. A fish is made here Maddox. He remembered the body of Saddam Hussein, the son of Abraham. He said his father was very fond of fishing. That one. He also owns a fish farm in a town called Smyrna. When the fish came to the fish farm, Muhammad Ibrahim Umar. No, but 2 mosquitoes. These are the ones from Abraham. Not one of the Iraqi guerrilla fighters. Your cousin is here, he said. When the throne of Saddam Hussein is overthrown, close military officials against U.S. military? The guerrilla began to believe that. Guerrilla Fighters by Abraham Omar. They are the most powerful people in the world. The guard also mentioned his uncle. Whose house is in Baghdad? Maddox with his team at this home in Baghdad. Hopefully I'll get out of here too. There's no information and Abraham was surprised. Abraham is the son of a righteous man. Personal bodyguard was, and most of them are good. Then he made a fish called a fish. He is currently waging a guerrilla war against the American military. He was leading in that. He knew the true location of Saddam Hussein. Arrest. After that, he did not agree to tell anything, but when Maddox interfaced him and convinced him that he and his family will be given citizenship in the U.S., then he started speaking, and Abraham said, Saddam Hussein. The name is hidden in the town on its mark U.S. Troops began searching the town. Were there 2 farmhouses on the banks of the Tigris River? Then came Abraham's age with the troops. He pointed to the ground where a rope was. It was laid. It was a very long rope and flowed from within the earth, away from a spider hole. The spider went in. Hole entrance a styrofoam. It was closed when the hole was opened. Nothing but darkness was seen at that time. Soldier hand granite was about to throw in that hole. 2 of them. Then he saw a man with a long beard. And he said, "My name is Samantha. I am the president of Iraq. U.S. military captures Saddam Hussein." It was done. After 22 weeks of continuous efforts, Eric Maddox. The colors finally come. It was later seen that if he doesn't know that he's going to suspect Saddam Hussein. He likes the dish, so he may never get there. The charges against Iraq. He was attacked by Saddam Hussein. The truck was hidden and nowhere to be found. U.S. President George W. Bush. He also confirmed that we did not find anything there.